I forgot to send you the as soon as I sat down, I was like, I knew we were forgetting something. And it's late, but that's not what I forgot. I forgot the intro music. Again. Let's go! Fuck it! That's not the intro music. But why didn't I send you the intro music today?
You keep forgetting.
I feel like this is lower than normal because Lexi's never this tall to me. Everybody's taller than me now.
I'm growing up.
Don't you do it. You ain't grown up yet. I know. So everybody thinks you should work for Dunkin' Donuts now. America runs on Lexi.
What's funny is I used to work at Dunks.
Every woman in New Hampshire under the age of 30 has to do it. It's kind of like, like in some countries, like military-driven countries, how you need to spend, 4 years in the military before you're considered, a statesperson. You got to do your time. Like in there's just countries that are a lot tougher than this one, where you have to do your time in the military or some sort of a government organization before you can move on and be qualified as a citizen. In this, in this sense, Lexi, New England, you've passed the test because you've worked at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, I was everyone's favorite drive-thru lady.
Is that what you did?
I was the drive-thru
It's the
lady.
laugh.
Hi, Fred.
I don't know. I didn't know back then that my laugh was this likable. So I don't know.
Well, now that don't laugh too much, because you're not going to laugh at what I'm about to say. AI is here to copy your laugh.
Nah.
Someone's going to... What, you think it's a joke? Because as Zach was coming over here, I called him, and I heard he was listening to some good music. And I was like, what are you listening to in the back? Is that like something new we need to be... I mean, it was heavy. And then he told me it was his new AI channel.
Yeah. Why? Why did you go there?
See, Lexi is going to be all upset about
Why
this.
did you go to there?
Because when somebody suggests a video of SpongeBob and Peter Griffin singing "In the End" by Linkin Park, I'm not gonna not listen to it. I had to check it out. Like,
that sounds like something Melissa would want to hear. Melissa, you don't want to hear Linkin Park in The Family Guy? You're not just
Peter
a little
Griffin did Mike's rap part, and then SpongeBob was Chester Bennington.
Ooh, that's awfully tempting.
I
One
might
thing.
have to hear that.
I don't know why.
Oh my god. It
doesn't really matter.
It was a little shaky at parts, but I mean, overall, like, SpongeBob nailed Chester's parts.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's got the perfect voice for it.
He really does. He really does.
SpongeBob is like the perfect. I ain't gonna lie.
The AI Peter wasn't as good, but the SpongeBob was.
But did he have the? Did he hit you with the stare? The one thing. Did he give it to you like the?
Oh, it wasn't. It was just a song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, when that comes out on a video, I might buy into that.
Although the two there was another video like the recommended, and like the next one was "I Miss You," but it was sung by Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and that one was a video, and that one
See, I'm from the epic rap battles of history era.
Oh, yep.
Those are freaking legendary!
Right? Those were fun.
Are freaking badass. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Those are
See,
badass.
I mean, even Lexi's going to karate chop you.
Right?
Okay.
All because I watched AI.
Yeah. I have a question, though.
So this is a tough crowd here because we're a larger band and a larger... I think we have a larger group of people that help make all this possible. Mm-hmm. So we are a variety group, which means with variety, you're going to have a variety of different appetites. I mean, in our company, we have white guys and black guys and girls and all types of different orientations and versions of people. We do. We're a very diverse group of people. In fact, that's one of the main features of us as a company is we wear many hats. Like Sepsiss isn't just a band. We also have a gaming community. We do podcasting and live streams. Melissa has a live stream at the end of the week called Swarm TV. It happens at 7. This, of course, is the Honeycomb Hideout. This is a live stream about a podcast, and it happens every midweek, every hump day.
Wednesday, let me.
Yep, and usually we do this at 7 o'clock, but because of the season and the height and intensity of our fun, we are just limited for time. Mm-hmm. It's like one fun thing to the next. Yeah. I forgot what I was talking about already. This is going well. I went from epic rap battles, and then I was thinking about talking a lot about how different that is, but it doesn't really matter because AI's here whether we like it or not.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just like one of those things. When streaming came out, I remember that musicians talked a lot about streaming as if it was the end of the world. Everything right now, I'd love for this show to be about something different today. However, there's so much fucking news about AI. Where do we fucking start? Why is it so... And I realize it's like some people don't want to, like... People want to avoid talking about it, I see. But I can't because of what we have to experience each day. Like, because we're making the artwork every day. When we turn this stuff off live, we go back to continue to making artwork. And whether we like it or not, the technology in general has played a lot bigger role in our art as far as a band. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I was scrolling through YouTube and all I saw was 7 ways to use AI to do this. 7 ways to use AI to do music marketing. Use AI to write your next song. Like, it's just crazy how much AI is, like, being talked about. Oh, wait. You have the baby.
Baby.
Hi.
It's my large child. Looks like me.
He has your eyes.
Yeah.
Someone clip that. I love this.
We started out this season as we were a 2-piece. We were like a duo.
There's a baby.
Yeah.
Little Cajun.
So most people would say me and Melissa started this season as a duo, but really because of the head rush, we had a whole orchestra of motherfuckers. I mean, honestly, when we start to talk, and this has nothing to do directly with AI, but I do want to point out a particular feature on this, that this has voice recognition on it.
What does that mean?
It means when I'm playing the guitar, it can detect which key I'm playing in, and I can plug a microphone into this, and it could help me play if I wasn't able to sing the parts correctly. I'm just telling you about the type of technology that is involved. Years ago, in classical music, there was a different person for every drum. You guys may not know this, okay? So before everybody gets mad at me and goes, well, what else does this thing do? It does the same thing a drummer does. This does the same thing a drummer does. It takes a lot of technology and it puts it physically in one space. I know what you guys are probably like, what are you talking about? I mean, it takes technology to cut down a tree and make drumsticks. I just want to start there. So you can't get mad. Every time something happens in technology, we can't get mad about it. The glue that binds books together is technology. They were remixing cool songs when the Native Americans told stories around campfires and did the same dances that their ancestor did. That's a remix, dude.
No shit.
You just never thought about it that way. We go, oh man, copying. We're all copying each other. Well, we're all copying something. Every time you write your return address down, you're copying. So what's so bad about that?
I mean, yeah, when you think about it, music's been around for so long that, like, everything's been done at least once,
Well, yes, and also, people don't make music for the same reasons depending on where you go. When you have, people that go to Bible study, they're not making music for iTunes metrics.
No.
Some are, I'm sure. Just like some preachers go to church and that's their stage for entertainment. I understand that there's that also. But somebody playing the acoustic guitar in the middle of a field during Bible study or something, for example, or Native Americans that would dance and perform or have music expressions for the gods or the trees or you know what I mean? Or maybe in Eastern societies, they used music and vibrations to adhere to spiritual circumstances or environments. The same way that we play organs and burn incense in Western society or Christian society, right? Or Aborigines and Native Americans do rain dances or bang on conga drums. It takes some pretty sophisticated technology to build a pan flute or a violin. That's pretty. It seems, ask most people if they can, handcraft a viola or an oboe. We dig up wind instruments and string instruments from hundreds of thousands of years ago, 3,000 years ago, and we say, oh my God, these people are geniuses. Because they were. Because what are we marveling about, though? What are we surprised about when we see this stuff? What we're marveling at is, wow, these people were a lot like us. They were smart, and they had the ability, and they were intellectual, and they were sophisticated, and they were spiritual, and they were interesting. And they had the ability to write songs about it. Except then they didn't have it on a playlist, or it wasn't really, well, I guess it was suggested from tribe to tribe.
Right.
How did we learn Happy Birthday? It traveled through technology. Somebody got on a fucking train, drove somewhere else, and said, "Happy fucking birthday," whatever fucking. And somebody goes, "That's a cool shitty song. Let's do that one." I don't know why we do it. I hate that fucking song. I'd rather twinkle.
This is the official Happy Birthday song now voted in by the board of people that voted this music.
Right. Who did that? The billboards?
Well, from what I understand,
Hey, has Happy Birthday ever charted? I feel like Happy Birthday should be the #1 played song in America.
Should I look this up?
Why the fuck? Why doesn't the person who wrote Happy Birthday, why don't we see them all the time?
I'm pretty sure they're dead now.
Well, Happy Birthday.
Happy Death Day.
It's the same thing, isn't it? That's called equilibrium. Ting tang, tick tock, tick tock, tube top. Tingsboro. So, buttons on your shirt. I thought you were going to say something. So, but chiseling, you can't chisel a life-size grown man out of marble or granite. It takes some, even scientists would be like, hey man, that takes some pretty sophisticated technology to create and shape stone the way that they did and the way that the art used to be 3,000, 4,000 years ago. We still marvel at that the same way we dig a couple layers into the earth and dig out a pan flute. Like, holy shit, look how sophisticated and passionate these people were. Look at how cultural they were. They had knowledge systems of scales, right? They had, they understood the stars. They understood the vibration and the vibratal qualities of the world. They understood oscillation. They understood how to tighten and loosen a string. These people were no dummies. But nonetheless, they took technology to pass that information along. From sea to shining sea, Mm-hmm. And every side and inch of the world had wind instruments, percussion instruments. But surely they came all from somewhere, right? And that is a lot how word travels today, through technology. Hey! See? That's how it all started. And with that...
Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of it.
Okay. That's okay. And then we had like the telegraph, right? That was a cool thing. No, it wasn't. But we
Why?
had that.
Why wasn't that a cool thing?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the Telegraph?
Right.
Because
It's like my favorite newspaper.
All you New Hampshire folks know why the table's on fire. It's hot under there. Look at this.
Sorry, that was me.
So I did. Well, people were asking me the other day. They're like, "Do you put that? Do you strategically position the smoke machines?" I think I said I didn't, but I lied. Because of course we do.
Right?
Well, until somebody said it looks like that we're all farting, I was like, "Oh, this is great. I'm just gonna keep it now."
Right? Now you have to.
Right.
Looks like we're.
That's not what I would have thought, but that's fine.
What?
Well, I think the last
would have
episode
said-
was directly behind Lexi, so.
But that's what the reference was, and I was like, "Oh well." That's why I moved it today because I was trying to be polite to her.
Thank you. What the hell? Wow.
Now you know what they
This
said
is
on
where the internet's going right now.
It's been there, and you know where else it is?
In a jar.
It's in a jar, and it's written on the walls in Egypt. But it took technology for all of us to view it. Mm-hmm. It took technology and it took the tools of modern day society for all of us to witness it. And like the modern day drummer, instruments from all over the world came together to make the modern day technological feat of the Western drum kit. We just never looked this stuff up. Like, this is a rock and roll page. Whether you're watching on Kick or Twitch or Instagram or Facebook, wherever you're watching out there, please share the feed. Wherever you're watching out there, please share the feed. But that means you guys too. Thanks.
You got it, boss.
But when don't blow smoke. But what I instantly think of is word of mouth. Right?
How word travels.
Yes, how information travels, and that's we're having a technology conversation and a conversation on the internet, and we're musicians in a band, so it's only right to marry these things in a conversation. To make my point, but specifically, there was a time when the traditional 7 pieces of the drum kit were separate, so a bass drum was separate.
Yeah, you had a whole
Before it was a kick drum, it was a bass drum.
Right. The whole orchestra. There's an entire percussion section.
Yes, a guy. Some people, you know this, but they don't have music. I say a lot of this stuff for people at home that don't know it. I know there's some guy getting mad right now. Like, come on, Will, everybody knows this shit. But guys, not everybody knows this. That's why Lexi last week told everybody when rock and roll started. You know how many people didn't know? They thought it started, 1819. Some people don't understand it was created a couple days ago. If you explain to people, hip hop was, within the last 50 years, they have a hard time digesting that. People that haven't lived 50 years have a hard time imagining making it to 50 years. I know, because I didn't think I was going to make it to 25 or whatever. How old are you now?
25.
See? Did you think you were going to make it to 25?
Yeah.
That was a trick question. So, a lot of people don't know about the history of rock and roll or the drum kit. I think that's what's wrong with music, though, is that musicians don't do enough to educate and talk with our fans. We want to sit up in the green room and pretend it's all incense wine and magic and fucking candles. But to me, I have a lot more fun learning about all this stuff, only to really give it away again. I really don't see a greater value than writing a song, learning how to play it, and then playing it for people. That's kind of the gift of giving. That's kind of the gift of writing and being able to share this with everybody. Mm-hmm. So you get all this information, you get all this money, you get all this weed. I know it's fun to smoke a joint by yourself. Say you get $1 million. Look at that guy in the submarine. Those poor people, did they find him yet?
In the submarine?
What?
Hold on, we'll get
There are
back to that.
people in the submarine?
Hold on, we're going to get back to that in a minute. So, but a lot of people are just not fully aware of the complete value of learning about music, learning about art, and learning how to talk about it and learning how to share it, and with the understanding that there's a much greater value, a multi-tiered value to art and music, and this means culinary arts, performance arts, visual arts, and of course music. There's a bigger value, unlike that we're taught in modern day society. There is an included and greater value of community, spirituality, vibration, healing, happiness, rest, personal enrichment, a higher sense and quality of life by experiencing art in its truest form. Does that exclude monetization and being popular? No, everybody, it doesn't. Okay, does that make you happy? That even if you're singing for God or the rain, you're still going to be popular for it. So you don't need to have so much anxiety about how popular you're going to be because you wrote your song. And now you can write music not for Spotify, but you can write music for yourself and experience the true value and meaning of art. And that's giving. That's a bigger suggestion. That's a bigger playlist than Spotify could ever offer you. So technology is another means of us communicating, and that is an evolving thing. That is something that's going to continue to evolve in the same way the telegraph did, and the telephone, and the cell phone, and text messaging, and hieroglyphics, and emojis, and sign languages. There's many different forms that we could communicate, and I don't think we should neglect any of them. I think we should use all of them for the greater idea of the quality of life. And what I wanted to remind y'all is that when we had the technology to talk about the drum, we accelerated our education on the drum. We also accelerated our understanding of space. And that, like I was holding up that head rush earlier, it's just our species finding a way to utilize the space. You had a bass drum and a guy that had to strap a bass drum on his back and walk around with it. You had maybe 2 or 3 guys with snare drums or different size snare drums. You have different size toms. The guys will walk around playing the toms, right? And then you had big cymbals. A lot of people don't know this, especially people that are just now growing up in rock and roll or modern music. To them, it's always been streaming. To them, music is something that comes on this, which it does. And for everybody that's upset about that, I'm here to tell you that the drum kit's not going anywhere. I was playing one yesterday. And for everyone that's celebrating new technology, you don't have to be disappointed because it can be used with old technology.
Right.
Cursive is still cool. Martial arts is still cool. There's no matter how many, martial arts is still a discipline that invokes and encourages personal enrichment. Okay, so people got smart when the drums came to this country. People got smart about the space, and they go, "Hold on, we're paying too many guys to stand on stage. What if we paid one guy and we made the drum kit smaller? Instead of one guy holding a bass drum, why don't we put the bass drum on the floor? Let's not hold it anymore. Let's put the bass drum on the floor. Now you kick it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And you take all the toms, you put them on the top, you arrange them on the top, and you arrange them with the cymbals. Now
Woo, Gio, thank you for 200 stars.
Hey, thank you, Gio. Gio's my guy. The moral of the story, and this isn't my opinion or like some sort of a like lifelong lesson. I should let that play out. Good time to roll my weed. For those of you that are watching, these are organic oxygen straws.
Yep.
These are organic oxygen straws. So,
I'm saying that from now on.
what, organic oxygen straws?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it that from now on.
It's completely legal organic oxygen straw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with anything other than breathing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people got smart about the drum kit. And basically, you know what I would really like to do is confuse everybody, bust some of the smoke down. Now it's really debatable.
What are
What
they
is that?
doing?
You know, is anything going on at all? Not really. Just me and my oxygen straw. If you've had the attention span, you know, of a sea turtle, then you'll get to the conclusion of this madness. And that is that people had to get smarter with their time, with their economy, and with their posture when it came to their wallets. Right? And by firing 6 guys, they saved a lot of money and they built a modern day drum kit. You know what I mean? Now you have one guy on the kit. You know what I mean? Like back when there were orchestras, they needed fucking how many
Yeah, but
guys
that
in it?
sounds like some kind of corporate budget cut shit that they did. Like,
Oh, it's definitely
like
using.
sorry, we have to lay some people off, but it's okay. One guy can do the work of like the other 4.
Now that's where I was going to bring in the head rush.
I.e. head rush
The head
comes
rush.
in.
So people don't understand. I can put backtracks on the head rush. I can put backup vocals. Say I've got nobody to sing with me. The head rush will.
The head rush will sing.
No, I don't use the AI properties in head rush as much as I think it's the coolest thing. And if I was hired to do a commercial or something, I haven't used it for Sepsiss.
Wait, back up. Did you just say AI properties in Headrush? What?
Yes. So when I play the guitar and when I plug the guitar in, okay, there is an AI voice detection system in that amplifier that can tell the chord progression that I'm playing in, and it has voice detection technology to help harmonize and make the adjustments for my voice in tandem, in composition, with the chord progression that I'm playing on the guitar.
What a fabulous piece of machinery.
I mean, it's
Wow.
cruise control.
Right.
For the guitar. And various other.
It's cruise control. I mean, I now we could get into the debate or not of what's good and what's bad and what's easy and what. But let's face it, most technology is the selling point of technology, mild to wild, historically to modern day. The big sell on technology is that it's luxurious, and if you have it, things are going to be convenient for you. If you buy a limousine, somebody's going to drive you down the street, and you're going to get out of it, and they're going to blow off the fucking seat and everything. You know, see what I'm saying? It's luxurious and it's convenient. You don't have to. This big sell is buy the limousine. You won't have to do anything. Buy into the AI. You ain't going to have to do anything. Sure, it costs a lot of money, but think about it. You ain't going to have to do anything. It's luxurious, it's it's trendy, and you don't have to do anything. It's convenient. Buy the head rush. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm sure people said the same thing when they invented the hammer.
they said the same thing when they invented the drum kit. It's hard to get along with 5 or 6 guys and have them all beat at the same time. Somebody's got to not get drunk. Somebody's got to shut the fuck up and mind their business. Think of all the things you got to have to go well to run a business or a band or a fucking tattoo shop. I don't know, a lemonade stand, anything. But let's look at bands. This is a passionate place where we write down our feelings on pieces of paper and then spend a whole bunch of fucking money going broke to re-perform that. I couldn't think of anything else but calling it a remix. Why are we so mad about mimicking and remixing when we're continuing to do the same type of things anyway? It's not like we all made up a new genre of music.
That's true.
So one guy will say, I don't like that this guy's remixing or sampling. But I mean, if you play A minor and I play A minor, well,
Yeah.
Are we copying each other or playing the same song?
Ah, and therein lies the crystalline. The structure of the crystalline.
Yeah, therein lies the crystalline structure. I mean, you can zoom into it all you want, and you know, you're going to find more patterns, you know, and you say, what the fuck are the patterns made out of, Will? And I'm going to say, well, look, they're protons, and they're electrons, and quarks, and quasars, and you're going to say, well, surely those are made out of something. I say, fuck it, let's zoom in. And then you zoom in a little bit more, and you say, oh my God, there's, you know, smaller quantum bits, right? And you look at these bits, and under assembly, you'll notice that therein lies more patterns and shapes. And surely these shapes must have names to them, right? And that's how you develop inside groups from outside groups. I'm rap, you're metal, you're white, I'm black. This is real, this is fake. But A minor is just A minor. Like, it's up to you to appreciate, you know, what I'm saying is we don't have to appreciate carvings written on stone in Egypt just because there's Amazon products that mimic that. It's not going to take away from the reality of the stone structures. It's up to you to remember or to recall or imagine what it took to build the pyramids. You know, I look at some pictures of some people send Melissa Wolf AI pictures. And they're stunning, be it have you. But I look at the real Melissa Wolf like every day, and I'll tell you, the AI ain't got nothing on her.
No.
So but it
can't replace the real thing.
And it's up to me it's up to some bad salesman to walk into my life on a bad day and catch me lacking. It's up to, you know, if I'm sitting there and I'm weak enough in my life where some bad salesman can enter my life and convince me that, you know, the pencil filter, you know, on Instagram is better than somebody sitting down there and drawing a picture. Or, you know what I mean? Or Allie and her daughter drawing watercolors. You know what I mean? I would have left somebody offered me one. You know what I mean? I'd have put it on my wall. You can't have me put on one of them AI pictures on the fucking wall.
No.
Because you know its origin. You know,
right.
You know what I mean?
You know it's not real.
I know it's not real. And I jumped around there for a minute, but I'm having a conversation about fear. And it's fear of change. And I think that if we can remember why we're here, we don't have to fuss so much about what we're doing all the time, because the what is going to change. And us as a species, as friends, as creatures, we're going to have to adjust to that what in life. But as long as we can focus on and remember why, we'll be able to ride this wave a little bit longer. And hopefully find some sort of happiness and longevity. I love the head rush because it takes all that space and it puts it all in one box. Without technology, we wouldn't have that. And that's the same idea and principles that went into building a modern day drum kit.
Makes it look so easy.
I think it'd be a lot more. I mean, think about the amount of work it takes to make a chipset. Everything got to be plugged in, or you got to have a chipset in it. But we're still running out of people that know how to carve up a Stradivarius. The lights go out. What are we going to play? Microchips?
We're fucked.
A grandpa's guitar.
Right. All of a sudden you're going to be asking your grandfather to borrow his acoustic.
Yep.
He's going to be the biggest guy in town.
Right.
So keep painting. Keep playing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Don't stop.
Or find a way to, again.
What up, Paul?
Yo, it was Hot Sauce's first show. If you guys don't know who Hot Sauce is, Saoirse played her first show with the band. I think we talked a little bit about it, but I just want to get you guys' thoughts on it. I want to say something really funny, though. she did so good that I forgot she was there. Is that mean?
You just
No.
forgot she was.
No.
Like, I kind of, sometimes when I'm performing,
You want someone to do that well.
I
You don't
do.
have to worry about
I,
You. Yeah, exactly.
Lexi just got it. I'm used to getting on stage and panicking for people. I inherit, like, if I see a band member, we've had band members in the past that they're scared of their own fucking shadows. So, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, you could practice plugging something in with them for years and years and years, but you get to the show and they're like, you know, it's like, just plug it in. It's just a plug. Just turn the power on. You got to get them to every button, you know? Turn the volume up. Take a ref. Some of this stuff's emotional for some people. I ain't making fun of nobody. That's a reality for some people. If you ask some people their biggest fear, they'll tell you speaking in front of people.
Yeah.
So my respect to all people that have stage fright and they're trying to pursue something like this. Seriously.
It's really difficult.
I used to have stage fright. It was just in a different form. People are like, yeah, right. I'm serious. I was alcoholic. So it came out in a different way. I used to think that I used to had to drink booze to be in a party. Does that make sense? I don't know if anybody out there can relate to me on that one, but
I can relate to you on that one.
I used to think to be around people and to have a good time, because I grew up, that's how the adults had a good time. When the adults were together, there was activities that went along with that. And if you didn't do those activities, why were you there?
Right.
So I struggled with that for a while. You know, we play in bars. We're not a big band, so we play in a lot of little bars, man. Little bars, you can smell the alcohol when the door hit. You know what I'm saying? So I worried for years and years, you know, going into a smoky bar with some delicious cognac. Am I going to be able to perform without this shit? Am I going to like rock and roll beyond alcohol? And that brings me to my first topic. New Hampshire considers cannabis legalization. I normally don't cover topics like this. I had to today because we're from New Hampshire. I've been following this story since 2011.
Whoa.
This has been going.
That's a long time that they've been battling this decision.
Yeah, so 23 states have since legalized marijuana. I don't know if y'all know that.
So since 2011,
Man, that's
23
half.
states?
No, just
Oh, okay.
just half, you know.
Oh, okay.
But you know, the big problem with New Hampshire has been like the way we look at liquor stores too. So, you know, people were like, why the hell won't they legalize marijuana? I think people that don't even smoke weed would legalize marijuana at this time.
That's where I sit.
Right.
I look at it from an economic standpoint.
Right.
Like, especially New Hampshire's system of liquor, why wouldn't they do the same thing for marijuana? They would make so much in revenue if it was state controlled.
I don't really disagree with this. And I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. I don't normally cover stuff like this, but because we're from New Hampshire, I figure I'd get y'all opinion on it. This would be the first state-run cannabis market in the nation.
The way it should be.
If that's the route in New Hampshire decides to go, as while that there are plenty of opinions about that, for and against, stakeholders say that it's clear no matter what the sales model the Granite State might pursue, doesn't appear to be much interest in any kind of social equity, a restorative and economic justice framework. If anybody knows what that means, it means they're not looking to restore the mistakes that they've made judicially. So there's not going to be a lot of reform in the terms of.
So they're not going to let the people they punished for it go.
I'm not so sure about that, but let me. They don't have with the conversation. They don't have any. They're not showing any interest. It doesn't appear to be any interest in social equity or restorative economic justice. Meaning, at this time of discussion, there is no interest in it. I'm glad you asked me that, because I'm sure I missed that.
Right.
That's important. That doesn't mean they're not going to.
It's just at this time they're not
Right.
talking about
Baby
that.
steps.
Right, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I realize some of you guys are from other places, but I like to smoke weed. Meanwhile,
Hey, it's slightly technical.
Yo,
Thanks for
Slightly,
tuning
what
in
up?
on Kick.
black people in New Hampshire were 4 more times likely to be arrested for cannabis than white counterparts, according to the American Civil Liberties Union report. I don't know the accuracy of that. I'm just saying what they're saying. And that's and New Hampshire decriminalized possession of small amounts of cannabis that allows for qualifying people to annul their criminal records, which is nice. That kind of goes into what you were saying. So I guess they are being nice to some of these people. Legalization is built on the backs of people who have been impacted by the war on drugs. So, and I want to end it on that because that's the big takeaway, is that they're finally having a conversation in this state, because they realize that having it illegal has affected the wider use and impact of the judicial system and how we've treated drugs in general for the last 50 years. So it's good. It shows improvement. It shows that we're able.
They're trying to make the steps to improve.
Right, and in that step, they're also going, whoa. The reason why we're making this step is because we realize of what a greater role all these other things are costing us financially. It's not that we love trees.
Right.
It's not that we all want to get stoned and eat cupcakes with Will and Lexi, although that sounds great.
That actually does sound really good.
Doesn't it?
It's a fun
And
time.
you can do that. We can do that, though.
Yeah.
Like, anytime
It's
you
a fun
feel
time.
down the road that that's a necessary thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Eating cupcakes?
Yes.
There's never
of
a
course.
bad time to eat cupcakes.
Facts, especially with friends.
Right?
Eat
Eating
cupcakes with friends.
Yes.
This show is sponsored by Convicted Printing, which I
love their
I feel like I
banner.
need more stuff.
Yeah.
The wrong
You got a
damn
pen?
Button.
What button?
Well, you know
Come
that.
on, button. Yay!
Are you talking to yourself?
Yes.
Would you like to
I
have
rubbed
some?
off on you.
Would you like to have some cupcakes with friends?
Yes, please.
I could slide it. I could slide it under the
That's-
table.
Woo! I love this podcast.
Nobody smokes weed in the whole band. Just me. I realized that the other day. No, you do. You're a band member. I wasn't neglecting you. So we have a staff of the year plaque, and we do a swarmy of the year. And I was talking to Hans, and he was talking about. He was like, "Yeah, I know. I was in swarmy of the year for a couple years." And I said, "Well, now that you're staff, you can't have swarmy of the year." He was like, "No, that's cool. I'm still representing." I said, "No, that's cool." And he goes, "Why? You know who I think should get staff member of the year?" And I said, "You're gonna say Lexi, but we can't give Lexi the staff member of the year."
I love you. I love you.
And the reason why we can't is because she's the one presenting it.
Should I care what?
That's the only thing you like to do. That's why you show up here so you can do that.
It's my job.
Yo, I feel like if this young lady could talk to me like this during the day, this is how she would choose
She
to
would.
communicate
Yep.
with me. And I would be
Yes.
upset, boy. I really would. You're done. And people wonder how we've coexisted for over a decade. And I'll say, compromise.
Just knowing what buttons to push.
You ain't lying. I had a really good time playing the show with Hot Sauce, a.k.a. Saoirse, a.k.a. my favorite Sriracha.
Woo!
And I'll tell you what, man, like, I had such a good time because I didn't even know she was there. First of all, she's so quiet.
Yeah.
She's so quiet. You'd never know she was practicing so hard. So, like, for me, I'm used to people...
Yes, Mr. DK, we are live. Hello.
Hi.
I'm
Howdy.
I'm used to people I'm used to people having tragedies like their first shows. I'm used to people asking me a lot of questions. I'm used to anxiety, and not for any one particular individual, an accumulation. So if you have 4 people that shit their pants, to me that feels like
That
a
happened
lot.
to me one time.
No, it didn't. You weren't there.
I love story time.
Poop stories? We always tell one poop story
Well,
on this podcast. We need
Not necessarily just poop stories. I just like stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so does everybody else, and that's why we have the technology.
And that's why podcasts are created.
Right. That's why you have stories on Instagram. That's why you have reels and all this stuff. That's why I meant earlier about, people doing rain dances and spiritual dances and tribal dances. People didn't just make music or dance, for DSPs and YouTube views, people didn't do the Macarena. People just did the fucking Macarena because it was annoying. You know what I mean? Everybody did the electric slide. No one got fucking paid for it. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And they just did it. Why? Because it felt good.
Right.
People went out to the club and they talked to each other and they danced because it felt good. And it didn't matter if there were cassettes. They could listen to cassettes at home also.
Mm-hmm.
They could watch. People act like you're now just watching concerts or content on a screen is new. New to who?
No, it's been
So
around
how's
for-
it going to take the place of anything?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I grew up, there was radio, there was digital products.
Didn't VH1 have a whole live series where they showed like full live concerts?
Yes.
Like before the internet was even around?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the live experience is one of the reasons it is the reason we know Zach and Hot Sauce.
That's true.
We're lucky to have Zach on the show, hanging out with us. That's
Yeah,
that like
it's a
that's
gift.
but like when we met Zach, it's not like we're like, you want to sit down and be on a podcast. That's you know what I mean. That's not it.
That's not how it happened.
That's not even how you started to be here. You were the merch girl.
Yeah. Hi, I'm the merch girl.
But you never were, when you started working for Melissa, you didn't ask about going live with her on Sunday.
No.
There was no
No.
going live.
That's not what
Not
I
when we
asked.
started this.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I mean, did they even have Spotify? We're so damn old. Did they even have Spotify when we started the band?
No, not when we started.
Yeah, they had like Reverb Nation.
That was-
That's all they had.
That was later down the
I think there might have been playlist.com.
There was like some shitty blogs, but the music was equally.
It was like a year or two later, I think. Spotify.
We had MySpace
It
and
was
we had
iTunes.
yeah.
Before,
didn't have that,
before
though.
Apple Music, though. It was like
Oh.
you couldn't like just listen to stuff. You had to buy each
Yeah,
song.
we did have Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but we weren't on it. I'm saying, like, what did musicians have then? We had
Yeah.
Oh,
we,
MySpace, yeah.
we had Reverb Nation. That's all I remember.
We did, yeah. Reverb, YouTube.
YouTube. We had YouTube. And that's all we had as DIY musicians. We didn't have nothing, and we burned CDs and we walk around and bring
Yeah, we
CDs
would
to the
hand out
club.
CDs
Yeah.
At the mall and shit.
What was that like? That sounds
Oh,
like fun.
there she goes. This is back when bands were bands. This is
You
what
go
we
to
used to
the-
do.
Tell
Sit
me
down,
about
young
it.
one.
I know.
You go to the
Okay,
venue
right.
And you hand out your CDs.
You know how you know how like
People, you meet
Or
them.
the other classic was you had an iPod with like, the 2 different headphones.
Mm-hmm.
So like you'd walk
Yeah.
around and be like, "Hey, check out my band," and you put the other headphone
Yeah,
in
if you
their
didn't
ear.
have a CD.
yeah.
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 That's how
It was
people
also-
showed me metal music was, hey, listen to my earbuds. And I was like, what the hell are you
Yeah,
listening
and then
to?
you'd have each person
So
would have a little
yeah,
earbud.
and we used to in Manchester, we used to have a little boombox.
You had a boombox?
Yeah,
You
so
walked
what-
around the
yes,
with
and we used to put
What?
CD. Yes, so we had we had teams.
Yep. Oh, the
There was
street
a strategy?
team.
No, yes,
Yeah,
you had to do.
Why don't we do
I
this anymore?
forgot that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
bands
Why
that
did
used
we
to have the
stop
street
doing
team.
this? Why did we stop doing this?
Because
This
now
is
it's
so much fun.
online. Now
Right.
they do it online.
We don't have to do it. We can still do the
You can
online.
do
and
both.
right?
Yeah,
Can we do
but-
this?
but like
some of it worked.
Back 10 years ago, it wasn't weird to just approach random other people in the mall and be
talk
like,
to each other.
Yeah,
dude.
it was just like, hey, what's up? You know, you. But now,
like
why
if
did
you
we stop
like,
doing this?
okay, like if you found somebody attractive, you know, you found a time. You found a time that it was that they were approachable in a polite and healthy way, and you looked at them in the eye and you told them how you felt.
And then they crapped on your heart.
Right, and usually they told you to fuck off.
Yeah.
But.
I digress.
Right. But, you know, now you probably become a sex offender.
Oh, yeah, you get arrested for that
Right.
shit.
That's what I'm saying. They probably tase you or something.
Right?
Girl or boy. I think
Right?
you might, right.
The other person would pepper spray you, and then the police would come and arrest you.
Yeah. And then they're going to review your personality and
Yeah.
reviews online.
Yeah, on a newspaper article with your mugshot.
Can we at least try to bring that old
Old what?
school style back? At least.
Some of
What,
it.
talking to other people in person?
No, not just that. I mean,
I'll tell you the parts that you can do, and we do them now. This is for other bands. We do business-to-business partnerships and relationships with pool halls, tattoo shops, laundromats, places where people still go. And, you know, you rub elbows with these people, you get to know people in your town, you know. And the best way to do that is shop with people, because people understand shopping in this country. There's one language that every color, every size, every shape person in this fucking country understands, like it or not, because we're taught it. There's no classes on it. There really should be. They don't have no classes on it in elementary school, but they should. They should have 2 classes on these 2 things. They should have a class on money. And I know y'all thinking business, and I said money. A class called money. And then they should have another class called people. We don't have classes on. We don't have classes on either one of those things.
Right.
I don't know why.
Everyone's going to be a consumer in one way, shape, or form.
Yep, we should have a class on money, where we talk about money openly, and then we should have a class about people, where we talk about people.
Well,
openly.
I took a class like that. I think it was called psychology.
Oh no, I mean the part of people where we don't pretend we're gods.
Oh.
See,
Sociology?
psychology is not a science either. You see what I'm saying? So, like, that's still, you know, take a class on psychology. That's just a person convincing himself that he understands his own mind.
What up, Flame On Games? How's it going?
That's just another game, you know. That's just another product. Here's a book. You're gonna know how your mind works. But if you ask a scientist or a physicist how much we know about our brains, they'd be like, we don't know much about our brains at all. We understand the universe more than we do our brain. We understand the solar system more than our brains. But you have a psychologist tell you about.
The best ways to fight back is raise kids who can hustle and invent things.
I would say that's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow a little smoke. Thank you for participating. No, and I don't mean to be dismal or anything. Trust me, I don't think we're gonna terraform any planets anytime soon. You wanna know why? We still don't know what to do with the poop. I already told you that. Trash day's tomorrow. Trash day's tomorrow. I don't throw away one bag of trash in my home. There's 12 units. There's 12 units in my apartment. Out of those 12 units, 3 of us on the bottom don't throw out the trash in the unit anymore. We can't figure it out. I've been here for half a decade. We can't figure it out. We cannot. First of all, there's not a bin for every apartment. And even if there was, Zach, somebody would just take your trash out of your bin and throw their trash in it when you weren't looking. There's always somebody that creates more trash. That's the problem with the fucking world. We don't know where to put it. We want. We don't know where to put it. We want more Amazon. We want more DoorDash. We want more plastic shit. Where the fuck are we gonna put it? There's only so much room for data, too. Hence the Spotify and the AI problems and everything. The big scare is Guys like me and you can sit down with AI programs and we can write 40 billion songs in an hour and upload them to Spotify. That's a fun game.
Right.
It's a data game. We're all playing the space game. We're playing it with the squirrels. We're playing with Spotify. We're playing it with the alligators. This has nothing to do with psychology. The real psychology is we're dying. We're killing the animals. We're fucking up the music. We're fucking up the conversation. We're taking up the space. In the name of luxury and convenience. But none of this shit has made us any smarter or nicer.
What up, Rain?
Psychologically speaking, we're not any more advanced than the squirrels still. At least they know where to put their shit. Outside! They know what to do with the water. They drink it. You know what I mean? The butterfly know what to do with water. Fucking drinks it. Most organic biological creatures and blades of grass and shit, organic matter's made out of water. You pointed that out earlier. Most of the planet's made out of water. We don't know what to do with it. Drinking it or fucking shitting it.
Or both.
Oh, you don't shit in it then drink it. It's fucking crazy.
Ew. Oh.
Well.
And my mom told me one time, rest in peace, she said, don't shit where you eat. I love that saying. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You want to start a fist fight, you don't start it with your neighbor. I see him every day.
Right.
Don't shit where you eat. I love that one. She also said, no fish would ever be caught if he didn't open his mouth.
True.
That's the one I really should have listened to.
Yeah.
That's the one I really should listen to. That's the best advice I think she's ever given me. But yeah, man. So we didn't always make music for Spotify. You know, we didn't always make music for MySpace either. Whoa! I mean, think about it. This is how confusing it is for people like myself. You know, the idea of making it in the music business when I was a little kid meant being on MTV. Well, that's fucking shattered.
I remember MTV.
So, yeah, but if you were on MTV right now, would you actually give one fuck?
No, I'd probably be a little embarrassed.
Right. Because, you want to know why? Because we get millions of views for our content not being on MTV.
Right.
Thank you, video.
Also, chances are if you're on MTV, you're not doing anything M-related.
Do you want me to show? I'll show you. No, I'll show well, yeah, no. Chances are if you're on MTV, you bought it.
Yep.
I'll show you a picture of us on MTV. Did you know how we got there?
How?
We bought it. Every major publication and every major corporation that you've ever seen us work with, except for Google and Facebook, and these sponsors here, those aren't major. Are they major? I don't know how big they are or not. But any like major, like, you know, huge platforms, and especially anybody involved in rock and roll, you know, any hip hop magazines, rock and roll magazines, anything like that we've ever been in, we paid for that to one degree or another.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, like if you know,
at one time or another,
whether it's through a publicist or something
but
like
somehow that shit came out of. I'm telling you.
Well, nothing in life is free.
Right. I just wanted everybody at home to know that because people have asked us before, how'd you guys get in Revolver? I'm like, we fucking paid for it, bro. How'd you guys get in this blog? We paid for it. And, I mean, and don't get me wrong, that's not. If I had to give you like I'd say about 50-50. I say, you know what I'm saying? So if you find an article about us or you see us in like the Source magazine, we got a big article in the Source. The only reason why we're in that Source is because we, you know, a couple of us grew up as like hip hop guys. We thought it'd be funny to be in a magazine. You know what I mean? You know, wouldn't it be cool if we put our rock and roll magazine? But it's like, and you can buy anything today. That's no sense of success or anything like that.
Success
So you see?
cannot be bought.
You see though what I'm trying to say though? Like there was a sense of being successful was being on vinyl at one time.
Yep.
Being in Tower Records. My first publication at, you know what I'm saying, I was on a compilation album with my buddy. Shout out to Corey. He got me first published. It was through our management team. I can't even remember what the name of the song was. I feel so bad about it. I did a verse on it. I made the beat. I played bass on it. We were just young kids. And the first time I ever played like live instrument on a record, I played live bass on a record. And we drove all the way to Boston. I drove all the way to Boston to Tower Records to buy my own. It was the only place you could buy it. having a physical tape or a physical CD or vinyl when I was a kid meant that you made it. Being on the radio and going to radio stations meant that you made it. So as a kid, I was already doing that. By the time we were, you know what I'm saying? By the time I was 11, 12, 13, I had records in stores. I had a manager. I had shows in Boston. I was already doing all that stuff. So to me, like when I was a little kid, I was like, I want to go on MTV. That's how I'm really going to make it. So you see what I'm saying? I already had all them other things. I had a person do my wardrobe. I'll call him right now on the phone. I still know him. They're still in my life to this day. Shout out to the homie G. I had a DJ. Yeah. Ricky Stewart. Everybody out there know who I'm talking about too. I had bodyguards and shit. It was fucking crazy. If I was lying, all my friends back home know I ain't lying. All my friends back home are like, yeah, that's real. I had photographers and fucking everything around. We was around all day. But it was like an all day thing. It's something we did all day. That's why like being in the band is like the same thing to me. Melissa, I forget about this shit a little bit. I kind of went off there. I was like, God damn. After I showed y'all that picture today, it really got me on one. Anyways, what was the beginning part of that? Historically, I said something. That's the part of the show where I don't know what I'm talking about. Lexi, take it away.
For the opener?
Sure.
More fans are raving over Ticketmaster's overpriced tickets.
Are they raving? Well, guess what?
Raging, sorry.
Oh. I thought they had glow sticks and ecstasy. I think they're raving.
Oh boy, overpriced tickets!
Hey.
Okay.
So, I saw earlier that there's supposed to be this major crackdown. The government's cracking.
They're cracking down on Ticketmaster.
No, I heard they're cracking fucking skulls over there.
What happened?
Skulls. And what they're doing is they're going after, the giant Ticketmaster, and they're creating a global strike force.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
There's two global strike forces. You better get ready, because we're going to talk about them on this episode. There's this global strike force against tickets, and there's the global strike force against AI streaming.
It's almost like they're working in tandem.
And, yes, there's some tandemness there. And there's another part of it, too, where they're cracking down. And we've been waiting for this here at the Reset forever. They're going after streaming fraud. They're doing, and so there's, and they wouldn't be able to do it if there wasn't AI.
Let's go! Fuck it!
Okay, go ahead.
You basically said it. You basically said what it was basically.
Oh, really?
About.
I said everything?
Basically.
All right, fuck it. I said it. No, but that's what I'm saying.
But that's what they're doing. They're cracking
and
down on Ticketmaster because the fans are raging over overpriced tickets, the fees, all kinds of other wonderful things that it's like to be a concert goer these days and trying to see your favorite band.
I know. So
go to
Taylor
local
Swift
show
that, started
because like
all this.
that's
The
what it does.
Swift-
Go to a local show. Like,
well, and everybody was mad at old Taylor. I told a couple weeks ago. I said, "Don't fuck with the Swifties.
Nope.
They are not playing."
Time to get Swifty.
Yeah, man, for real.
they're getting.
I was
Swiftie
trying
at
to
Ticketmaster.
explain. I was trying to explain to Lexi about concerts when I was a teenager versus concerts, now that she's grown up. And I pointed out how, people still get peed on and trampled at concerts today. That's very much a thing.
Oh yeah, that's why we were watching death metal
Dude,
concerts.
no, dude. I said I was trying to tell her the dangers of just like mild to wild dangers of concerts, right. And she was like, "Well, how bad can it get, dude?" I showed her Woodstock '99.
Oh shit!
It changed her life, dude.
Oh shit is right.
She was like, she never knew it could get to that.
I hate to laugh because that's really traumatic for those people.
For y'all don't know, go watch a doc on Woodstock '99. Put a 1 in the chat if you were there. I'll have you on the show.
I want to ask you questions.
Yeah, if you went to Woodstock '99, call up on the show right now.
Please.
And tell me what that was like.
We have a team of operators standing by.
It was like people rolling around in fecal matter and rape. It was just crazy, dude.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, there's a lot of fire and rape. It's just bad stuff.
I heard when Twisted Sister played in England for the first time at some big festival, people were throwing bottles and fucking some dude threw his shit at the stage.
See,
like they didn't realize it until after it, like they had gotten off the stage and their roadie told them. And he's just like, somebody was that angry with them that they had to shit in their hand or pick up somebody else's and then throw it at the stage.
Oh my god.
How angry do you have to be to get to that point?
and like
Right.
my whole thing is too, you have to also have a certain amount of comfort too to like squeeze out a poop.
Right?
In front of everybody.
Yeah, so you gotta be
I
like,
can't
you
shit
got
with people watching.
This is the problem with the young lady that urinated all over the stage. So that always caught me strange to me because it was like the furiousness of her urine. You know?
And the spit
Was
Yo.
it a
back,
powerful
though.
scream or something? Like,
Yo, unlike you've never seen, it was like a horse
It
taking a
looked
leak.
like a freaking fire
so
hydrant, like
so
let
it,
loose.
it wasn't like a tinkle; it was a real
Yo,
piss.
bro,
You know? Like,
I don't need to. I don't. Yo, and I don't even mean to be fucked up to the people. Look, I see. Bro,
in the rain.
Leah said, for the love of God, change the subject.
Okay.
Why would we?
Leah said she was a streamer.
Yo, I can't fuck with you people anymore. Yo. Oh my god, what's going on?
I saw that video. It was like a
Doug,
fire hose.
no,
That's
listen.
what I'm talking
I got a strong. Have you seen this video, bro?
No.
You need
No,
to see
hold on.
Oh,
You need to
No,
see it.
no, Lexi, please.
Yeah,
Pull it up on the
yes.
show so we can see his reaction on the show. Hold on, turn the volume down, and I want full pee. I want. Seriously, I don't know. Let me describe it. Let her prepare it. I need to describe this before you need to be prepared. Now look, I have a strong stomach. I've seen people. Look, man, I've been stabbed, all types of shit. I done lost my life before. I've been homeless. All type of other things happen to me. I got a strong stomach. But people passed out. You know, I've resuscitated them back to life. All type of things. My child. You've met my son. When he was a little baby, he almost choked on a milk cap. Yo, I had to reach down this boy's throat and pull his milk cap out. Everyone was scared to death. The Lord took over my body or something, bro. Yeah, I was surrounded by police officers and everything. I was in a state prison visiting room.
Found it.
Hold on, don't show it yet. I was in a state. He's like, I want to see. Hold on, I was in a state prison visiting room, and this little boy was like this big, sitting on a table. We're surrounded by all type of professionals and parents and fucking EMTs and all type of officers and shit. And this boy started to get to choking on this fucking milk cap. And my mother's there and everything. Now
How did he ingest the milk cap?
he was chewing on it, like fucking with it,
Oh my god.
like talking, you know, vibing out. You know what I mean? This is this big child that you know is my son. He's like, "No!" He's like looking at me crazy at the table. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not really supposed to be grabbing on people in this situation. Because the situation I'm in kind of made me reluctant to jump up and do something. Because I didn't want to be misunderstood. But nobody was doing anything. So I'm like flagging people down. And usually, like, it's crazy. Like, my mom's really good at this kind of stuff. But I don't know, in this particular moment, maybe the only time I might have seen her out of her game. But she was kind of like, I was like, no. I think he's, and he's like turning colors. And I get up in this kid's neck. You're not supposed to do it. They tell you to never do it. They never tell you to reach down. Don't ever do this. They tell you never to reach down somebody's throat. But I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. In my mind, I was just moving at that time. I really didn't think about it too much at that time, And I fucking reached in that boy's throat and I fucking...
Did you not know the Heimlich at the time?
I did, though. I did.
So why
I didn't want to grab nobody. I was in a visiting room in prison.
Right.
I didn't want to grab this child like that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you stuck your hand down his throat?
It's the only thing. Right. It's the only thing that, like I said, I wasn't thinking. It wasn't a. I did. There wasn't a pro.
Yeah.
Let's reset. I didn't have a process of thinking.
You just
To be open with you,
just went.
I believe in my mind that I had a problem with standing up on the table and grabbing him.
Right.
So it was, so I can't. It was more so. You know what I mean? It was a quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I had a second to move on it, and I did it. Yeah. So, anyways,
Well, luckily
he
it
survived.
worked.
Yeah, he survived. But about the peeing thing, anyways. This lady, I don't know where that goes, but it doesn't matter. Prepare yourself, because this lady, I have a strong stomach. That's where that came from. I seen somebody hit over the head with a can of chili. This is nothing like that. There's certain places and certain circumstances in life where you expect to see horrors, and you're like, you know what? It's a stabbing. I'm here. This is where people get stabbed. Somebody gets bitten by a wild animal. They're out in the fucking woods. You're like, why did you get fucking bitten by a wild animal? He was out in the woods. That's how we got bit. Oh my God, it's a crazy shock attack. Oh my God, his legs were severed clean off. Really? What was he doing? He was at the skate park. Well, wait a minute. There's no sharks at the skate park. This is fucking nuts. No, but I'm saying, now, he was in a boxing ring, and he got his fucking teeth knocked out. Well, it wasn't a boxing match. Live by the sword, die by the sword. That's not like some karma shit. That means you just play with knives more. You're liable to be cut up by shit. Mm. That's not, that's not divine intervention. That's you playing with fucking sharp shit. You play with fire often, you're going to increase your chances of burning shit. So, in any event, I've never seen a human being urinate like this. And there are certain places where you'd expect certain horrors. Certain places, you go and you see somebody in the octagon, there's some bloodshed, you're like, all right, fuck it. It's the octagon. You do not expect to be at Rocklahoma. You don't expect to be at Louder in Life, do you? You expect to be at a concert, with say you're there with your teenage daughter, and you're like, oh, it's my favorite band, and then she whips her drawers down and basically squats on this dude's face, which is fine. Like in any type of adult situation, I would say go for it. But this is like men, women, and children. And I'm talking about an explosion of urine in this dude's mouth, bro.
He spits it back.
And it's fine. It's fine, except I don't want to be there. You paying, imagine you bought tickets to this shit.
I'm getting antsy. I gotta see this.
All right, go ahead, have at it.
He also volunteered.
Yeah. Well, that'd be weird if he didn't. Just have at it.
Is there volume to this, or?
I don't want to get DCMA.
Yeah, I was told. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So that's the lady.
Oh, good. There's multiple camera angles.
Oh, yeah. Let's just have at it. I think everybody should watch this.
Yeah.
It's a great piece of video. I mean...
Yeah. Nice little chug. And then... yeah. Here we go. And...
it's like blurred.
well...
Did they blur it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But you
Oh,
see-
God.
I hope not. That's going to ruin everything.
Did you see the spit back?
Oh,
Spits it back!
Lexi's all excited about the spit. I'm...
Wow, he looks stoked.
He volunteered!
I'm not upset at him.
So like,
I'm really not. I feel like her parents. I'm so mad at her for doing that.
so like the video says like the band like giving information about the band and they're known for covering stuff. Was that like covering R. Kelly songs? Or? Is that when that happened? Or?
Yo. I hope of all my friends that are in bands, if I come to see your show, don't pee on your friends.
Right?
Please don't. Pee responsibly.
Well, but again, the guy volunteered for it.
He volunteered. So basically,
Yeah, but if
she
he was
was
a dude, though,
complaining about not being able to use the restroom, and she just kept complaining like during the set. So it got to a point where some guy was like, "Hey," and then
Oh,
I'm mad at both of them.
yeah.
No.
That doesn't seem sanitary.
No, listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now.
especially the spit back.
No, hold on. This is how impactful this is.
Well, that's just the
This
kid
is
inside.
not even a recent. That's how powerful this incident is. This is not like it's recent. You know what I mean? This is like last year, but I'm just showing y'all the impact of this. That's crazy. Us as human beings, we have not evolved past poo and pee.
What about the jellyfish?
The Joe.
I only have one story about jellyfish, and it ain't good.
I don't know what you're talking about with jellyfish.
I only have one story
I
about
think
jellyfish.
The rumor has it if you get stung by a jellyfish, if you pee on the wound, it like doesn't hurt anymore.
Interesting.
It's the only way to get rid of the
Oh.
jellyfish.
I heard of that, but I mean,
Yeah.
Is that what he's talking about?
Hans,
I only
Hans
hope
said
so.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably
It's a
not.
toss up. What else we got, Lex?
We also have.
Oh, look, it's more Amazon. You gotta have a place to put all that shit.
Oh no, my thing won't scroll. Corey Taylor.
Uh-oh.
On why Corey Taylor? On why he.
Are you a Slipknot fan?
I like Slipknot. I'm not like a diehard fan or anything,
No, no.
but like
To be honest with you, I don't know any diehard fans of Slipknot.
I did in middle school.
And not that there wouldn't be any. I'm just saying I don't know any.
Right.
Have you heard about this, what Corey Taylor thinks thing? I was talking to Lexi about it the other day. She's just mystified.
Corey Taylor thinks like about what?
Huh?
Like about what? Just
Whatever he wants to.
Think what Corey Taylor
It's just-
thinks
and
about the universe.
Whatever he
What
thinks
Corey
about.
Taylor thinks about rights on selling music, like the selling your
Like,
rights
you know-
to his music.
I know it's a big thing on the internet for people to desire what people think. I don't care if anybody cares or likes what I think. Not really. When people do, and they do, it's fantastic for me. When they don't, it isn't. Because on the internet, if you don't agree with people, you're a narcissist. If you think you're valuable, if you publicly say right now that you are in pursuit of contributing your time in becoming successful, and you have determined meeting those checkpoints several times in your life, you're a fucking narcissist. I'm just letting you know now. For instance, I'll say it right now. People will ask me, and they'll say, do you think that you're a good guitar player? And I'll say, I'll do you one more. I think I'm better than most people. Fucking narcissist. If you say, I'm in the pursuit of becoming successful, now how fucking dare you? If you're in a metal band now, don't you? Wait till you start advertising. Don't you dare advertise. Not an independent rock and music. If you're an independent rock and roll, you're supposed to have low draw and be upset about it. Take it away, Lex.
Corey Taylor on why he won't sell the rights to his music.
Fucking narcissist.
yeah, what an asshole.
Another thing too about on what Corey Taylor thinks, they always use the same picture. always the
Like, yeah.
same picture.
Because they found out in the demo, like, because the machine will tell you which one triggers people more. So, like, say we put up a picture of me, like my guitar videos trigger people, and I can go on Facebook, and Facebook will tell me people fucking hate this, they are triggered by this, boost it. No.
Exactly. That's exactly how they think. That's
So, like, I know we got good content when we have an equilibrium. People living on the shit and dying on it.
While selling the rights to his music might be an easy way to make a lot of money, Slipknot singer Corey Taylor says he cannot ever see himself selling the rights to his songs, and he has a pretty good reason as to why. Owning the rights to a famous artist's catalog has the potential to gain the owner a lot of money. Currently, for example, there's a conversation going on regarding the Queen's catalog, which has an absurd estimated amount of value and things. Corey Taylor says if he were to sell the rights to his songs now, he would get a lot of money for them, but he would lose out on receiving royalties on whatever platform he is putting his music on to get played. However, selling the rights to his music is not something he can see himself doing. During a new chat, he goes on to say, I still own all my publishing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've had offers in the past to sell it, and I've been like, nah, we're good. Because, to be honest, I'm still writing. I'm still modern in a way. I'm still looking towards the future. My releases still do really, really well, so I'm still building that publishing up.
And people think he's a narcissist.
But that's a really good reason, though. Like, if
To
you
me,
have a good publishing,
no,
if you're still relevant, if you're still getting success in your songs.
They make fun of Corey all the time. See, and I want to say specifically, I'm not a Slipknot fan. I didn't grow up on Slipknot. I'm not a big fan of their music. I know some of their popular songs. I'm not wowed by it. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? The mixes and tones and textures, they're not necessarily my flavor, but I love and respect all their contributions and everything that they've done prior to me being here. And I certainly don't think I'm better or more quality than anybody. But I will say, as for much bullshit as people give him, the big meme is what Corey Taylor thinks and then people making fun of what he thinks. But what he actually thinks is pretty cool.
That's a pretty good point. Like, that really is. Like, if you're
now I can see why people
everything,
call me a narcissist, because I agree with shit like that.
But then again, you're also a songwriter, so you
Right.
understand where he's coming from.
The other day, somebody said, you know, in the comments that Sepsiss should, you know, get rid of me because I'm really replaceable. And Melissa said, well, that would be weird because he wrote all the music. How are we going to do that? And the guy basically said, well, you know, I don't make very much a contribution. I said, that's odd, because not to be unfair to upset anybody, but for anybody that didn't know. So Melissa's her own force and power in her right. You can find her all over the internet. She wears many hats. She's got her own public figure pages. She didn't buy her blue check or do any of that goofy stuff. She hasn't bought her presence. She's earned herself in her own right. She's a multiple award winner, and the idea, the creation of Sepsiss is all her idea, and she hired me to be a part of it. She hired me to write the music and to be the manager for the band. I'm the point of contact in the band, and she hired me to write the music currently. That could mean that at any time somebody else could start writing music for Melissa, and I would have to be cool with it because it's her music. She hired me to currently... So if you like anything that we've ever had in the catalog, 99.8% of it is written and published by myself. I know that's disappointing for a lot of people. That means even lyrics. I bring lyrics and music, just so you guys know. For anybody that's just disappointed about me being the leader of the band, it's because Melissa hired me as the founder of the band. So Melissa founded the band and then hired me to lead the band. And if you want to talk to her about that or be upset about that some other time, that's okay. currently, if you are, we don't have a large catalog, and we don't plan on having an enormous catalog like tons of bands do. We're planning to move along at a pace that's healthy and at a pace that works well and is a good fit for the creators and writers here. The future holds a lot for Sepsiss, but that a lot has to do with that in terms of who stays with the act. Melissa's not going to allow anybody to write music for her if they're going to leave, because that would bring up a royalty and a legal dispute. So I think Corey Taylor's on the money there by not selling his stuff. We don't have a large catalog in Sepsiss, but if you like the catalog that's here, tough luck, I wrote it. That doesn't mean that Lexi can't write an amazing song here. That doesn't mean that Zach's not going to write music here. It just means that they're going to have to be in the band long enough where they discussed that with Melissa, who founded the band, to allow that to happen. So, I'm not replaceable, and I'm going to tell you for one reason. Because if I were to be replaceable, I would gladly at any time take any and all of my contribution to this project and give it to Melissa for free as a gift. I don't have no desire. We don't make enough money off of rock. What the hell?
I don't know what happened there.
We don't make enough money on rock and roll or music. Where that would be a. Melissa hired me to write the music in the band. However, I write all the music as a gift to Melissa. So, there you have it. I hope we have many, many songs.
Right?
And Corey Taylor's not a narcissist.
No. And neither are you.
Come on, you're gonna ruin my reputation. What do you have anything else?
Yeah, Spotify's apparently
Calling the cops?
according to Cradle of Filth, Danny Filth
Oh, I love
are
it.
are the biggest criminals in the world.
Yes. I believe you.
Right. In a new interview, I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong. I really apologize. His name Sakis Fragos.
It's not Zachy B.
Nope.
It's not Zachy B. I'm sorry.
He's calling himself Zachy Fuego. You better punch him in the mouth.
Of Rock Hard Grease and Cradle of Filth frontman Danny Filth spoke about the decline in the music industry as consumers value access over ownership and experiences over assets. He says, it's been deteriorating ever since. I think 2006 was the year that everything swapped from being comfortable for musicians. Well, not necessarily comfortable. It was never comfortable, but it went to just being a lot harder with the onset of the digital age. The onset of music streaming platforms that don't pay anybody like Spotify are the biggest criminals in the world.
The argument whether it's harder or not is strange depending on which room you're in. You go into some rooms and they be like, you better not say it's hard now. You guys are so spoiled. Like, there's groups of people that think that musicians are spoiled. And there are groups of people, believe it or not, man, they think we're having too much fun up there to consider this work, Zach. They think we haven't invested enough yet. We haven't practiced enough yet. Be it most professional musicians are in their fucking 30s that make rock and roll. Right. So these people are people that invested their entire lives, their entire childhoods into their fucking lives.
Well, I want to see the
like
people.
Melissa.
I want to see the people who's say like, "Oh, you're having too much fun." You know, it's not work up there. Strap on a fucking pair of knee-high boots. Get up and start jumping around on drum rises and fucking,
put $250,000 into it and then do it until you're 35 too, right. Motherfucker.
Yeah, do it night after night. Then tell me if it's work or not.
Right, get good at it first.
Then we'll have the conversation of if it's work or not.
That's true. Get good at it, too. You know what I mean? People say it's art. It's artwork. Artwork.
You gotta do art. You gotta work in order to make your art.
Real shit.
He goes on to say, last year he had about 25 to 26 million plays, which personally was about 20 pounds, which is less than an hourly work rate. That's how Spotify is with them. But yeah. He also
Cradle
goes,
of Filth, that's a lot, though. They make good money over there. Yo, Danny, why you upset about that? That's good bread. Like, for I'm not going to say he's spoiled. I'm done. I'd be a hypocrite if I said that.
That's true.
Someone's going to hit me right in the comments. Will, gotcha. You're a human.
I might have to review your personality.
It's going to happen. There's somebody reviewing my personality right now, trust me. You know, to whoever you are that's reviewing my personality at this very second, go fuck your mom. Gotcha.
2 stars.
He's like, oh, he's talking about me, bro. So, about the submarine. Were you done?
With that one, yes.
Okay, I just want to talk about the submarine because I had written it down earlier. Did you guys hear about the people in the submarine? Melissa, you'd love this.
What about the people in the submarine? I love
Submarines?
story time.
Well, it's time. Crack open the goldfish. You get ready for this
You like
one.
some?
Pour it out on the table like we're in preschool.
Okay. Wait,
Remember
we're not
that?
in preschool, but I'll still pour it on the table.
That's how they taught me math. They starved me, and then they...
What?
And then, yeah. I'm not kidding, but that's what they used to do back in the 80s. They starved the shit out of you, and then they put bits and food on the ground like a fucking animal, and they go 2 over here, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 2, you're gonna die if you don't eat 2 of those, plus 2 of these means you're gonna die if you don't eat 4. We got it real quick.
That's really terrifying.
No, not work.
Well, see how they
work,
teach
dude.
it now in school. I can say because I work in a school is they'll dump it out, on the desk and they'll be like, "All right, kids, now what I want you to do in class today is to just mash them up, and then flick all the parts on for the custodian to clean up later."
Yo, timestamp. Yo, that's Zach's first reel. That's dope. I love it. Lexi, I love this. I love this. That's funny. No, it's so accurate. I thought you were going to say crush them up in tiny little bits and argue about race. This is funny too. Yeah, with the shit. All right.
So what was the submarine? That's why
So-
I cracked out the goldfish.
Well, I know, and then we're eating them all because we got to survive.
We're starving.
Will
So
said I need 4
the
to
people in the
live.
submarine, I'm going to take a serious tone and best I can. So a couple days ago, there were these people that went into the submarine. There was a scientist. They had to get some pussy. They brought a girl with her, and then they brought some other little dude, some other little like computer guy, like a technician, and then you know what I mean, a fucking billionaire. This guy's like a billionaire. Hey, look, we're getting down here. It's like Lord of the Flies in this motherfucker. One of us has got to go.
No.
So Melissa didn't get any of those. She
Melissa!
loves fish. Look, she's going at it though. There you go. Equal opportunity fisherman. See? Ow! There's a math problem.
No! The fishies!
That's a work problem.
I was gonna say we're in a band and you're dropping food all over the place.
I'm having like
have to eat it off the floor.
flashback to my shift earlier.
Oh no!
Right, so much for arithmetic.
So much for summer vacation.
This is supposed to be a relaxing snack during story.
We really stressed everybody out.
Right?
Apparently Melissa's happy.
These are...
Flavor blasted.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Extra cheddar.
Oh yeah, baby.
they roll it around in amphetamines.
I'm with it.
Delicious.
She's kidding. They should have done that because
All the fish.
I don't know. It's been 48 hours, 70 hours. These guys went to go look at the Titanic in the submarine. And they went down a couple days ago. And, we've had some difficult weather. They lost track of them, guys.
Oh yeah.
So, and they've been gone. Listen, they've been gone. Can somebody tell me in the comments if they found the submarine people yet? Dude.
This is why we can't have night.
Listen, no, but
That's
remember I told you.
terrifying.
No, remember I told you. No, everybody in the world's looking for him right now. It's the saddest thing in the world. It's the saddest thing in the world. And I'll tell you what, man. This is what I mean when you can have all the money in the world. You know what I mean? And not be happy. You know this guy's a billionaire, right? One of these guys is a billionaire. Another one's a technician. Another one's a scientist. They spent their whole lives becoming billionaires and scientists. And the way you get in the submarine, Zach, they bolt you in it. You don't get in it like a traditional, because they're going to go see the Titanic.
Right.
So you go way the fuck down there, dude. It's not like you're just going down there, No, this ain't going snorkeling. This is
deep
and
in
these
the
people
ocean.
go down and they do these Titanic sightseeing expeditions, and they go down in these DIY made, these billionaires DIY made, 4-person submersibles. So recently, a couple days ago, these people go down in the submersible. Melissa, this is your worst fucking nightmare.
Yep. This is why I hate.
Are you looking it up right now? I want you to be terrified.
I am.
Are you? Good. Because be lucky you're not that billionaire bastard at the bottom of the ocean looking at...
Video says they have 35 hours left.
Oh! The race is on! This is... No, look. Now I got you into it. Now you're going to be into it. It's like drill rap. You don't know who's going to drop.
Massive search operation is underway in an area twice the size of Connecticut.
Yes, I can't get off it.
my God.
I've looked every hour to see if they find these people. I'm hooked.
There's 35 hours.
I could barely do this podcast today because I'm like, did they find the fucking people yet? Did they find the people? I've been stressed out all day.
A U.S. Navy salvage system capable of retrieving objects or vessels off the bottom of the ocean floor has reached St. John's, Newfoundland, but it has not yet left for the site in the North Atlantic.
Dude, what's the fucking problem here? Listen to what I'm saying is, it's 2023. We've got auto-tune. We've got the modern drummer. We've got fucking Head Rush, and we've got fucking Three Doors Down from a Puddle of fucking Nickel Creed doing a remix with SpongeBob SquarePants. And we can't find a goddamn submarine at the bottom of the ocean where the Titanic fell? We're fucked. We don't have any gadgets. We don't have any AI or no auto-tune that can go find that motherfucker. Fuck this shit.
The U.S.
We've got all the time to sing Drake remixes, and we don't have a goddamn gadget. We've got gadgets that'll tickle your ass crack all the way in Alaska on an app on your iPhone, and we don't got a single EMP or some sort of a nerd detection device.
The U.S. Coast Guard said it has not identified the source of banging noises that were picked up by sonar Tuesday and Wednesday during the search.
That's their feet kicking on the ground.
Right?
Because they can't breathe anymore. They're probably kicking the shit out of each other for that last bologna sandwich.
Do they have food down there?
Don't you dare go down to a motherfucking... I'm going to tell y'all right now I love y'all, okay?
How are they going to the bathroom?
Yo, we got to talk about this right now. Guys, do you really want to go down in a submarine with me? Listen, I'm telling you, don't get locked up. And I'm telling everybody at home right now so you know what type of motherfucker I am. Do not get locked up with me in a submarine while I think I'm about to die down there. Just have me not go. Just stop me before we get on the submarine and say, hey, you know what, Will? I don't think this one's for you. Let me. I'll play acoustic guitar on the banks and wait for you to re-emerge. I'll support you. I'll tell you, hey, they can't text anybody down there. It's not like they can go live down there. I'll never tell.
Look, there's a jellyfish.
What the fuck? No. When the power goes out on these motherfuckers, it's pitch black, dude. You're just in a pitch black rolling pill, bro. You are sick to your stomach, rolling in that void, in that pill. Bodies clanging into bodies.
You're gonna die.
Dude, you're fucking fucked.
I'm gonna die.
You're gonna die. Look, he's a big dog. I hope they find those people.
Like, seriously.
I'm serious. I'm terrified for them.
Does she need more?
Look at, I just want to...
need more fish?
I want to point out right now, you guys are above ground right now. We smoking the best trees. You got goldfish, Mike and Ikes, and eargasms and everything else. You are not rolling at the bottom of the ocean in a pitch black void. I'm telling you, man. Just imagine being in a little ibuprofen.
Going to the bathroom, that's why they call it a water sport.
Oh. God. Damn. I'm sorry. Can I just say to those people's families, even though I'm never going to know them, I'm sorry that shit happened to you, for real. I'm sorry that shit happened to you.
horrible.
I'm
Sad.
damn. What a long, terrifying death. Think about it. One of them is a billionaire. I'm not trying to be fresh. You couldn't have just sat your motherfucking ass on that lawn chair in Miami. You couldn't have found another high. You couldn't find another Rush.
This is why I don't do boys.
I would have been a drill rapper or something like that. I would have pulled some other thing going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have done anything, life risking, a bungee jumping, tiger wrestling, do some sword fighting, fencing. You couldn't have found something else to do? How old was the billionaire? Can somebody find out for me? Lexi's dumped half a bag of goldfish on the floor. Think of those people and look, every time you dump one of them goldfish on the floor, that's the people knocking on the side of that fucking submarine, looking at the fish swimming by them, starving for hunger. How many of them you think are still alive right now? There's 4 of them. This is awful. I'm on land,
I feel so bad.
having
for
a
those people.
podcast.
I
Should I
feel
just
so-
shut up?
I feel so bad for those people.
Everyone's like, yeah, well, shut up. Watch your mouth. No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was really terrifying. Those poor people.
Look at what we're doing. I'm about to take a sip of something delicious or something because I don't know what I'm doing. They can't have cranberry juice. What this
I
teaches
wish
me.
we could give them cranberry juice.
Me too. What this teaches me is to live my life and not get, you know what I'm saying, and not play games. I'm sorry, man. That's wild.
What you're saying is I should cancel the kayak I ordered from the wish list.
Yeah.
Yep. Immediately.
Cancel it.
The last thing you want to do is put me. If you want to, honestly, if you want to see,
58 years.
he's 58 years old. You came all of this way. You probably got another 15, 20 years in you as a billionaire.
He lived his entire life for this moment. Wow.
And think about somebody his age. He's got to look at everybody calmly and be like, you know what? He's not even that old, though. I was going to say something else, but he ain't that old to be thinking like that. I feel like if you could still get it up, you ain't old. He got $1 billion, and you're physically fit enough to get. I don't even know if we're physically fit enough to get into a fucking submarine. Don't you have to go through classes to do that shit? I feel like if you're physically fit enough to headbang, then you can get on a motherfucking submarine.
You would have to do some sort of I'd say class for submarines and stuff.
I mean, is there backup oxygen? What do you think about that, Melissa?
What in particular?
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, totally.
All right. Let's change the page. So Instagram adds a new option to include music tracks.
Hello, Grandpa Bob. New person in the kick chat.
Oh, I thought you meant... No, but I thought you were joking. I thought you meant Bob.
No, Grandpa Bob is in the kick chat right
Oh, I thought you were being fresh.
It could be. I'm not. Is this Bob that we know? Is this Bob?
We know a lot of Bobs.
Wait,
All right.
you know
So
about-
this seems like another effort by Meta to keep up with TikTok.
Okay.
I'm
What's
not.
this?
I'm not sure how practice or value it'll actually add, but
For
let's.
35 hours is the backup oxygen, says video.
Oh, that's why they have 35 hours left. 35
my
hours
God.
left of oxygen.
Yo, this is no. So wait a minute. We're gonna watch these people die on
I hope not.
social media.
I hope not.
Oh man.
67-year-old metalhead and Sepsiss fan.
Ooh.
What's up, Grandpa Bob? Thank you for joining the chat. If you are new to the kick,
So
and
if
haven't followed,
anybody that's a Sepsiss fan is not allowed to ride in submarines.
I was gonna say.
At least not like DIY submarines. I was stuck in a submarine once. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Will, you come on here with a lot of fucking stories. And now you're telling me that you were trapped in the bottom in a submersible. And there's people out there that are watching this and have heard my stories and goes, oh, come the fuck on. I believe the knife fights in prison. I believe the fucking, you know what I mean? I believe the divine intervention. I believe all the rain dances and all the fucking hocus pocus. Hell, I even believe you wrote all the music for Sepsiss.
But now you're telling me you were in the Navy?
Right. But now you're telling me that you were in a submarine yourself. And I wasn't only in a submarine, Melissa, I was in a fucking submarine and it fucking died, dude, and sank to the bottom of wherever the fuck we were. Can you believe this shit happened to me? If I'm lying, I'm dying. Me and my mother went to fucking SeaWorld when I was a little kid.
Oh my.
Yo, it was a nightmare. They had a submarine ride on this fucking thing. It was either Disney World or SeaWorld. And we went in this fucking like ocean habitat exploration dive, and the ride broke, dude. We were down there for fucking. My mother was scared to death. She told all through our life, she'd bring up the story, you know, and I'd say, "Tell me the story about the submarine again," you know. Because my mom, I mean, she didn't get scared often. So I'd love to hear the stories that terrified her, because it was like, I need to know what I need to be afraid of, you know.
20,000 leagues under the sea.
You know, 23 hours left under the sea. Anyhow, it's true. I like how you guys are so noble you wouldn't eat the last 3 fish. I'm not that noble. And that should teach you something about being in a submarine with me. I'm eating all you motherfuckers. Just know that. I'm eating you. You too.
I ate all mine already.
No, I'm eating you as a person. If the 4 of us go down in a submarine, who do you think's gonna? Let's talk about it. What are we gonna do?
Well, I'd be safe. I'm the largest one out of all of us. Good luck trying to overpower me.
No, we have to join forces. Who's the littlest one?
I'm not the littlest one.
Oh, see, now. She's like, I fed you, motherfuckers, you bastards.
I'm not the littlest one. I am not.
Hold on, I said I'd eat Melissa too. She'd be out of here.
Certainly not me.
We'll survive. We'll survive forever.
Oh, we got a little award in the chat. We
Award?
received 100 messages today. Woo!
Hopefully
There's like a little trophy symbol.
Ooh.
Nice.
Sweet.
This is awesome.
I know. It's really, we don't have anybody like in the band where we can send up pictures to like we used to. Zach? I was thinking about that. So we used to do this thing. It's this tradition where people send us, you know, pictures of body parts. So we direct them all to certain people in the band, you know what I mean? The obvious people get them, you know what I mean? So we send them somewhere else because it's funny. Zach's the new person to send body parts to. So
I will thoroughly review them.
Right, you will be right.
And
they'd probably enjoy that.
Right. I'll write a whole report. Review
People love that. I feel like if you were reviewing people, they'd like it.
Right?
Would you review their personality?
Anybody that wants
obviously, if they're sending me their body parts.
Yo, if anybody would like Zach to review their personality, inbox the page. If anybody wants me to review their personality, you can inbox me directly. Actually, people do. Fair is fair. People hit me up routinely and say, review me. I said, I'm not qualified for this shit.
It's
You
because
said, oh, Lord, here we go again.
Yeah. No, I'm going to flip. It's going to go the other way around.
is video
I'm
not
start-
reviewing our personality?
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like my personality is
I'm
under review.
See? It's catchy. You see? Now you see? You're feeling it.
Is my personality under
Well, it is
review?
now.
Right now that you said something about it.
This all goes back to a fish wanting to get caught if it didn't open his mouth.
Every time. Maybe if you were sharing a new track with your friends or looking to highlight a band you know, or your own music. I don't see a lot of enhancement in the value of trying, this is the person reporting it, trying to get people to listen to your favorite track at the moment, the MySpace style, but maybe there's a use and case and value that I'm not seeing. So, I think they're relating to they're relating to like meta products encoding, you being able to tag bands and tag music.
Yeah.
Which this guy doesn't seem like there's a great point to it. But I love that, and I think it's great. According to Meta, Notes have been doing especially well with younger users and over. So people like myself, I might not use it, but being able to tag bands this way in Instagram is really important. So I'm only saying this in a sense so bands can take advantage of it. Do as you will. I'm not a huge Instagram person, but I do use it for like image portfolios. How about you? Do you use Instagram?
Yeah, I use Instagram. I'm on Instagram.
Just yell to Lexi that she needs to send me Zaki's number. I have a portfolio, says video.
Oh.
Well, Hans is already sending me feet pics, so.
Oh my God. Hans, you're done.
You're done.
I think he liked my response, though.
Amazon, Spotify, team up for global task force aimed at eradicating streaming fraud. Yeah, this is our last story for the night, so it's pretty important. In January, there were some early reports on a recent French study that was showing up 3% of music streams on services like Spotify were known to be fraudulent. I did the math on this. It was much more than 3%. But this is Spotify and what they are revealing. But even so, for a trendy, spiffy site like Spotify, 3% it seems large. As previously noted, this number only represents fake streams, not encouraged, not playlisted. This is straight fake. So that just goes to show you, not just... It doesn't include the ones they don't find. Anyhow. Deezer set out a strategy to address the fraudulent streaming activity on their platform the first. I think we get like 20 plays on Deezer a week or something. It's like pretty embarrassing. But now a number of music companies ranging from distributors. This even means like people like CD Baby and DistroKid. Streaming platforms like Spotify, Amazon Music have come together in what they call the Unprecedented Alliance. Sounds interesting. Sounds like the Immaculate Connection Gaming. To form MFF. Music Fights Fraud. It's described as a global task force aimed at eradicating streaming fraud. You know, I fucking love this shit. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of shit I always complain like about the music industry. This is the first time I've ever reported on something that really isn't like, wow, okay, that's at least there's a conversation about something different. I'm sure nothing will happen. According to the media statement announced by this new initiative, MFF is the first time of all corners of the music industry have aligned as a united front to combat fraud in music streaming. And what have I said since the beginning of this podcast? That there's no such thing as a music industry because there are no separate parts that make up the whole. I just confirmed once again. This shows you, that not only was I accurate, that there was a general need for the conversations that we brought up when we first invented this very podcast. This is the stuff that they weren't talking about prior. And I'm certainly not saying we had anything to do with it. But we've been reporting on this stuff to consumers at home for months and months and months. And people hem and haw and fucking cry about the shit that I'm reporting on here. And here, you see the biggest companies and corporations agreeing with me. And turning the tide. And going, oh, wow, the stuff that William's been talking about this entire time really is important to our freedom, to our authenticity, and to value, because music itself is at an all-time demand. It's at an all-time high demand. If something's at an all-time high demand, how are we getting paid the less for it? How are we getting treated poorly? The group of companies say that they're going to work to ensure that the global music streaming market is fair, and that all members actively contribute to solutions intended to balance the equity of its operations. The objective of the organization is to detect, prevent, mitigate, and enforce anti-fraud measures, and ensuring that musicians and rightful owners get paid. This is bad news for my record label. Gotcha. This is bad news for people stealing from musicians. If you're not part of any music rights organizations, this is a good time to get involved. I and the band are a part of many. And if you know anything about PROs, you know that they are diligent at hunting down royalties that people have owned you from years before. So where a lot of people don't like the new technology and where it's going, it really favors independent artists like me that have record deals, and I have contracts and agreements with people that owe me money. Because this is an easy way for me to prove it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's good stuff, guys. Yeah, no, really.
a huge
No,
win.
it's a step. It has been estimated that there is an industry-wide streaming abuse. It has been understood. It has been noted that there is a global industry-wide streaming abuse. That's crazy. That's what these main players have committed to detecting and acknowledging, that they're starting their campaign on an industry-wide streaming abuse issue. Oh boy,
They're talking about everything.
streaming abuse encompassing bots, streaming click farms, imposters, royalty disputes, impacts all artists, both self-release and those signed to labels. We are both, if y'all didn't know. We are independent and we have a record deal. It affects the music industry by diluting the royalty pool, reducing revenue for legitimate streams, and slowing the approval for release process for creators. It is a self-governing association subject to approval by the members. CD Baby's involved. The CD Baby to be a founding member. That's very good. I'm just trying to see who these other folks, if they're going to name a couple more of these folks. TuneCore. And among others, I think DistroKid, Symphonic, Empire, Spotify, Amazon, of course Deezer. So some of your favorite and largest.
That's crazy.
The fact that they're acknowledging, it's just the first time we've had all these people in one room go, yes, there's a problem. Yes, stealing is wrong. Yes, we have an issue. Yes, we need to unify to come up with a way to treat musicians fairly and pay them the money that we owe them. We need to make that happen. I think that's a good note to end on.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys, for coming this week. We'll be back midweek
Thank you.
every Wednesday.
Wednesday, let me.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.